it's me, Mario. Wahoo! Mamma mia, you listening to XVG with Pete Donaldson, Mario's favourite. Ha ha!
That's right, Super Mario, it is indeed XVG, and you are my favourite fictional Italian plumber as well.
Wahoo!
And apologies for not curling an episode out for a fairly long time. To be honest, there's been so many awesome titles coming out that it's taken me ages to actually get round to playing them all. The Ballad of Gay Tony, Football Manager 2010, Modern Warfare 2, Assassin's Creed 2... Uncharted 2. It's been an incredible month for gaming, and with this being a video game show, let's assign some arbitrary, meaningless scores for each game. This game gets 2,000%. This game gets 5 Paul Newmans out of 5, and this one's worth at least 3 bastards out of 4. And let's not forget that we are only weeks away from Christmas, so the baby bird-like games companies are all jostling for position for Mummy Bird, that's you, to puke up some wormy money into their hungry beaks. That noise is me high-fiving myself. So, what titles deserve your wriggly, wormy dollars? What stuff have I been playing this week, possibly in my pants?
If you release me, I will spare your lives.
Listen to... Ah!
Mentioned in the first episode of XVG, Assassin's Creed 2 is out pretty much now, and it's as spectacular as its early glimpses promised. There's some stunning level design, more interesting set pieces, and a much more refined, polished experience than the first title. And I, for one, cannot wait for number 3 in the series.
Only the best of friends. Where did you find this guy?
Moving along to Uncharted 2. To my mind, it's best described as Tomb Raider mixed with one of the more recent Broken Sword graphic adventure games, if you're familiar with them. It charts the fortune of a hapless American treasure hunter as he navigates across the globe, trying to locate the secrets of Marco Polo, the famous Venetian merchant.
Oh, your quest is over? What if it's only beginning?
It's easily the most visually arresting PS3 game released thus far. Some of the scenes in Tibet are just beyond compare graphically. Also of note is the interplay between the characters. Sexual chemistry is something that's rarely explored to any great depth in video games, and the love triangle between the main character Nathan Drake and the 2 female leads is very well played.
You're competing with a psychopathic war criminal for a mythological gemstone.
I'm sensing some history here.
Elena Fisher, last year's model.
Add in impeccable voice acting, a fantastic hint system, and some very unobtrusive camera work, and you've got one hell of a cinematic experience. Get it, is my only advice. Well worth the 3 bastards out of 4. And you cannot help but have noticed the blanket coverage of a title by the name of Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. I'm not going to bother recommending you buy it, because chances are, if you're watching this, you already own it. And let's not forget, it did make $310 million in 24 hours. I'm gonna stick my neck out and say they're probably gonna make another one. And to be honest, Modern Warfare 2's November release has kind of made all the other games producers run a little scared. You've only got to look at the Christmas release calendar. Nobody wanted to go toe-to-toe with Modern Warfare for the Christmas number 1. All the big games are coming out early next year. In January, you look at Bayonetta and Mass Effect 2. February, you got Bioshock 2, Lost Planet 2, the new Splinter Cell game. And March sees God of War 3, Final Fantasy 13, and the new Command & Conquer and Battlefield games coming out. 2010 will surely be the year of the sequel.
Looks like Objective Bravo's ours now.
So with all that in mind, I thought it would be a good idea to get myself down to the 27th annual Golden Joysticks. To the uninitiated, it's basically one of the biggest video game award shows. And a good time was had by all. A boozy time was had by all. And unfortunately, due to my excitement and, let's just say, revelry, I neglected to record anything with my video camera, except for this.
I'm Stephen Priestley. Movies, movies, movies!
Luckily though, someone else from the Golden Joysticks managed to film some stuff, so I'm just going to go ahead and pass this off as my own.
For anyone engaged, this is like Christmas Day.
Yes, well said that, man. It is like Christmas Day. Some people have an awesome time, some people go home disappointed, but in every single case, we all get drunk.
Champagne, best games of the year. What more could you want?
The sticks themselves were presented by the superb Sean Locke, and the big winners on the day were Bethesda,
Fallout 3,
is Bethesda Softworks. Ultimate Game of the Year. How do you guys feel?
Fantastic. This is the one, isn't it?
Without a shadow of the doubt, one of the best games ever made, I think it's fair to say. But the Golden Joysticks weren't the only big autumn gaming event taking place in London. The Eurogamer Expo in Old Billingsgate on the banks of the Thames was in its second year, this time doubling up its efforts in Leeds as well. It was the chance for the general public to get their mitts on the latest and the greatest titles and then go away and bitch about them on internet forums. Oh yeah, and you got to look at girls from very far away. And when security weren't watching, you could hump suggestive polystyrene words. And there was quite a lineup. Titles like James Cameron's Avatar, which looks just incredible in 3D. For some reason, video games appear to use the third dimension much more effectively than their filmy counterparts. Games such as God of War 3, Splinter Cell, the new Mario game, they all made their British debuts at this event and pretty much knocked punters' socks off. And one of the more interesting aspects of it was that it didn't just show off the new games from the big studios, it also reserved a place for the little guys, the indie developers who were coming out with interactive entertainment free of the shackles of multi-million-dollar budgets and the interference that comes along with them. I caught up with David from the company Hello Games, and believe it or not, I avoided the temptation to say Hello Games at any point.
Well, I'm David Ream, and I'm from Hello Games, which is a very small four-man studio we set up about a year and a half ago in Guildford. We're currently doing digital download games for consoles, Xbox, PlayStation, maybe for PC as well, if you're lucky.
But what about your game, David? Tell us about your game.
Well, it's Joe Danger, and it's kind of a stunt-em-up. You're a Joe Danger stunt bike rider, and it's kind of like our cross between Exciter Bike and Sonic the Hedgehog. We're going for like the whole old school charm of video games that seems to have kind of been lost recently. Bring that back. It's due to be released in spring to 2010.
Thank you, David. Goodbye, Hello Games. Yes. So that's about it, really. I promise it won't be such a stupendously long time before you see another XVG again. But before we go, we should return to having a look at some truly awful video game box art. In at 3 this week, Wonder Boy in Monsterland on the Master System. Sega during the 80s were the worst for this sort of rubbish. What is that? And if to compound things, Old Red Knight, he stood in dog poo. Nightmare for the night there. In at 2 this week, Chemist Tycoon on the PS2. Seriously, is this what we're making games about now? In at number 1 this week, Street Smart on the Mega Drive. Oh, David Duchovny is angry. And this all looks completely unprovoked. Why is he doing this? I just wanted a quiet drink. If you've got any bad video game box art you'd like to nominate for next time, pete@xfm.co.uk is my email address. I'd like to thank this man for doing the filming at Eurogamer, by the way, and this man for just being himself.
Movies, games, and videos!
Bye!